Smack talking where the legends live and the rookies get schooled in law. This ain't just talk. This is smack talking raw. You ready, Pinky? Judge always Ron. Let's lay the smack down. Boom.
Welcome to another episode of Smack Talking Raw. I'm your boy Pinky. And look who we got in the house. It's Ronstradamus.
What's going on, Pinky? How you doing, baby?
Oh, buddy. I've been waiting to see you for so long. I felt like my partner wasn't with me this weekend. I needed that. I needed that Ronstradamus. I needed that moment of joy from your face. We'll talk about that. There was that one moment at SummerSlam where I was like, oh my God, I got to see Ron's face. And then right after that, and you know which moment I'm talking about. So.
I know exactly what moment you're talking about. Well, last week was kind of crazy because my wife was in Poland, as you know, Maggie. And I got a call from her that she was dealing with some issues that are feminine wise. And we had to bring her home early. So that interrupted our SummerSlam on Saturday and Sunday. So I was watching it from the car driving up to DIA, brother, and I didn't miss a stitch of it. I watched every single moment of it, and she didn't come out of customs and everything like that until 8 o'clock. So I got to see the whole SummerSlam, but just I had people watching it next to me and stuff like that. So I had a different crowd with me this time, but got a chance to watch it all the same. So it was cool, brother. So real cool.
I could just I'm looking forward to go. Like, Get him, hit him.
How was your week, brother? How's everything with you? How was your SummerSlam?
It was man, it was a good weekend. We just hung out at the crib. It was just me, Hannah and Harmony on Saturday, and then Sunday, the crew came over, man. We had Robert and Caleb and Andy, my daughter and her boyfriend, and then Harmony and Hannah. We were stacked, bro. It was dope. Having everybody in the house. It was good time.
I heard you got Hannah over for 8 hours watching it with you. So needless to say, something went right because you're still alive, bro. So it's all good.
I made it. I think she was interested because her uncle was out there. So I think that kind of gave her a little bit of interest of like, oh, where's he at? And how's, what's he getting to see? And, all of that. So.
By the way, I just really want to comment about that. The videos that you sent me, the pictures you sent to me, they don't know me yet, but those are my new best friends, bro. They're sitting in the right seats at the right time with the right people and hanging out and having an experience with other people that are wrestling fans. I'm sure they're super excited about knowing us and they don't even know it yet. So I'm super excited about if you guys are watching the show, I can't wait to meet you, bro, because what you were showing and putting down, there's 2 words that I got for you. Bottom line, awesome.
Awesome.
That's right. That's
great.
right.
I'm going to give you an alert, Ron. Turn off your notifications.
My notifications?
Yeah, on your phone. They keep dinging.
I ain't got nothing. All right. Well, maybe I will.
Yeah, buddy.
I just want everybody to know I'm popular, bro. I got stuff happening.
Before that.
Awesome. Well, one of the things that we're going to start a new segment.
You are a very popular man.
We're going to start a new segment. It's called Ron's Rant. And the reason why we're going to start Ron's Rant is because we put little reels that we put out there from this show. And I want this to be just a reminder of Pinky about something I'm going to say that's important. So, Pinky, as you're pushing record on this one, this is one that you guys are all going to want to hear. So this is the first Ron's Rant official. So what the hell happened on Monday Night Raw? SummerSlam was banging, dude. What is going on, man? You have something that we've been missing as WWE fans since Elimination Chamber. I left the SummerSlam feeling really fired up. I'm like, the triple threat ladder match that we'll talk about, one of the greatest matches in WWE history. We got Cena versus Cody Rhodes. They really put on an epic 37-minute battle, etc., etc. But then we come to Monday Night Raw, and it was like, nah. What in tarnations? Like, Triple H, you have 200 people booking. We're watching Unreal. You got all these people in a room, and you can't come up with anything better than that on Monday night, bro. We got to get it right, man. We got to start activating our younger talent. We got to get them to be star quality. I could see Braun Breaker there's a segment where Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins they're hugging each other, and you could kind of tell Braun Breaker is like, that's cool, but like, what about us? I got nothing going on, bro. I got nothing. And you could tell inside of his body language. And in order for you guys to capitalize on the momentum you got, everybody in that group has got to dominate. You got to take away all the titles from Judgment Day. You got to get Becky Lynch inside of your group. You got to have long-sighted vision. If you're going to call a group the Vision, Triple H, you got to have vision yourself, friend. So I know that a lot of times when you're watching these types of programs, whether it be us as novices, people that are behind the scenes are watching this kind of stuff, and they're like, gosh, you guys are attacking us. You don't understand what's going on. Well, as a viewer, I know what the hell is going on because I'm bored as crap on Monday Night Raw watching stuff that makes no damn sense. So if you're not going to watch stuff that doesn't make sense, I'll just watch it on YouTube, and I don't need to watch it live. And eventually you'll move your asses from Netflix back to USA Network. That's what I got, Pinky.
I feel you. Now, there are a couple things from Raw I did enjoy, but I got a rant of my own. My wife's uncle is out there, and he's like, hey, we're about to get ready to rock and roll. And I'm like, great, let's do this. And he sends me a video 15 minutes before the kickoff of the show, and it's Stephanie Vaquer coming out with her music. And then I get a video of the Devil's Kiss, and it's right there because they were awfully close. They were on the rail,
super close.
And I'm like, how in the hell does Vaquer have a title match in 3 weeks in Clash in Paris, and she's in a dark match? Who the hell wrote that? That's fucking ridiculous. Excuse my language, YouTube. But I'm really mad about that because I'm like, she is already main eventing. She is going to be on the stage with Naomi going for the World Heavyweight Championship, and she's dark matching against Ivy Wild or Ivy Nile. That makes no sense. None.
Although Ivy Nile had her hair down.
Horrible booking.
Ivy Nile, that's one of the best things in Raw. She had her hair down, so she didn't look so scary and horrible. So that was a good thing. So Luna Vachon the second, she's not anymore. So there's that. Yeah, bro, that's what I'm talking about. It's like one of those things to where I was watching some old WWE product, Pinky, and one of the things that they did really well, and I'll use Kane, The Rock, and Kurt Angle as an example. They had them in backstage segments, and it wasn't like an interview session. It was more like they were interacting, and the camera just happened to be there. And they would build their characters behind the scenes, and it would be kind of funny at times, and it would be kind of serious, like, I'm going to take you out, brother, next week, or what about the people? You know, the people and all this sort of stuff. They would make up their own little gimmicks, right, on the spot. And that's what builds character. Right now, these wrestlers that are going out there, they're going out there looking to show off their showmanship, but the fans are dead, bro. They're not really pumped up. The ladder match was incredible. Incredible. The athleticism was great, but watch Becky and Lyra Valkyria go back. The crowd was dead, bro. Dead. And it was a good match. Sorry, I'm on a rant again. It's not my rant.
That was bad booking, though. Or that was a bad booking, though, because they put the ladder match and then they put Becky and Lyra. They should have put Dom and AJ after that ladder match. Let the crowd die down from the excitement of the ladder match, and then bring Becky and Lyra back out, because you put Becky and Lyra right after, and they're going at it and they're being violent, and now like everybody's a little desensitized from what we had just saw. So we need to make them forget that ladder match for a little bit, and then bring out that brutality of that Becky Lyra match. So bad booking again. They just, for whatever reason, they just don't know what they're doing when it comes to, some of the intricacies that you think they would have down, knowing that they've got people in the business working these things that have been around for years. Should be able to get that right. But I digress. We've got a lot of SummerSlam to talk through and get through. So I'm going to just kind of run down, and I'm going to I want to hear your take. And since we weren't together this time, I have no idea what your thoughts are. So normally we go into a show and I know what your thoughts are because we already talked about it. I am in the dark here. So we had the opening match of Roman Reigns and Jey Uso and Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. What you got, Ron?
I liked the match, but it did nothing for the big picture of the new breed coming in. And I was talking about this last week, and one of the things I was talking about is that you have Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed come and they beat Roman to death. They take his shoes, so now he has Bronson has the Shula Fala. But at the end of the day, with this being a product to where we're looking to boost these guys up to be the next level competition, you got to allow them to be dominant. And what a great way to be able to do that then with Roman and Jey, beating them up real good and getting them their name over, because Roman Reigns being a former Universal undisputed champion, to give them the opportunity to get the Duke over them, that would have just been incredible. And it just, unfortunately, bad booking.
Yeah, I enjoyed the match. Of course, it was nice seeing Jey come out and get 50,000 people yeeting. It was also good to see Roman having some fun, right? We haven't seen Roman really have a lot of fun out there. His character's always got to be kind of the big guy on the block. So to see him have some fun was great. But at the end of the day, the faction until the end, this was a really bad night for them until the end. Like, how do you lose against Roman Reigns and Jey Uso and then think you're all big and bad and you're the future? Like, you just had the future lose.
One of the things I want to put out there for everybody, this is an incredible take, what Pinky just said. Drop a like or comment when you see anything that you want to talk about with regards to SummerSlam, and we'll comment afterwards when we see your post and everything like that, because it is hugely important to put a note to WWE creative about what's not working. And when they see what's not working, they get an opportunity to take a look at themselves and say, okay, let me make this make sense to everybody. Because right now, this doesn't make sense. Yes, you don't want Roman Reigns, your powerhouse, to lose any steam, but he's getting ready to make a movie and be gone for a bit. So by the time he comes back, everybody's going to be so excited to see Roman Reigns when he comes back. They're not going to remember the fact that he lost at SummerSlam. But these guys that did lose at SummerSlam, they're going to be on TV every week. And they're going to remember they lost to Jey Uso and Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. So what does that do for the build, for the vision? It makes it so that they are blind. That's another good rant right there, by the way, Pinky. So keep that note.
That is a good one. I'm trying to look and see if the Clash in Paris poster doesn't have Roman on it. So maybe he won't have anything to do at Clash. It does have Jey, but not. It does not have Roman on it. So maybe Roman, and maybe after those 3 tsunamis he took, he's going to be out for a little bit.
Well, yeah.
So I just really dislike that ending. I didn't like Roman Reigns and Jey Uso winning. Have a disqualification. Have Jey Uso take a pin. Like it just like Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker needed the win. They needed to look strong. They needed to look great, and they didn't. And I the faction to me outside of Seth Rollins doesn't mean anything.
Right.
It doesn't have anything. So we'll move on from that because it was a good opener, decent length, 20-minute match, but to me the ending was not the way to go.
So what would you give the match between a 1 to 5?
I mean, probably a 3. Like it's like, yeah, I don't know if I go back and watch it again.
Yeah, it was
So
a 2 or 3 for. Yeah, it was a 2 or 3 for me also. And in that match, you had predicted that Roman and Jay would win, and I predicted that Bronson and Braun would win. So you are 1-0-0-1.
And then we move on to the women's tag team championship match with the Judgment Day versus We're Not Friends. Tell the people what happened, Ron.
Man, some BS happened. The Judgment Day, they found a way to make it happen to lose the belts and mess up my whole equation. But, I agree with you now after watching the match that having Charlotte and Alexa win the titles, it gives more depth to their characters, and it's a good show to watch. And those two being together now uplifts the tag team division a little bit more because somebody that's going to beat those two are going to have to be a quality pair as opposed to just having any old bodies win the belt. So I really appreciate your take on that last week. And you're 2-0 with that one as far as I'm concerned, brother.
And what I loved about this is you had two different styles. You had a tag team that worked really well together. Raquel and Roxanne, they were tagging in and out. They were moving. They were on there. And Alexa and Charlotte were not on the same page in different occasions. And, even Alexa, coming in to throw a punch on Roxanne gets out of the way and she decks Charlotte. And then Charlotte eats a Pop Rocks, which was an awesome Pop Rocks. Like she hit that thing clean. I was like, oh, I was in it, buddy. And then to see them win, loved it. But those two contrasts of tag team that's kind of like a well-oiled machine, and then one that is kind of out of sorts and they're trying to figure things out, that played well to me. I really enjoyed that. So, and I think it kind of played well with the whole, like, we're not friends dynamic. We're not friends. We are friends, and even in the post show, the crowd was cheering Charlotte. That's never happened.
Never.
That's never happened. She commented on, I think it was on the post show. She was like, I don't know if this has ever happened in my career where the crowds actually cheered me. Like it actually feels pretty good. So it was good to see that. And they just got a great dynamic. And again, we don't need this to go forever, but that's a fun time. And hopefully we'll continue getting a few more really interesting matches to help rebuild this women's tag team division that's been dead for at least a year, probably.
Since the beginning. When Bayley and Sasha Banks won the titles initially, they never got any continuity going with regards to the women's tag team titles, really, ever. There'll be somebody that comes to the forefront, but there's never been like a battle. Like it's kind of like the SmackDown tag team champions and the Raw tag team championships. The women's tag team championships fall more in line with the Raw tag team championships than they do the SmackDown tag.
Raw is dead. Dead.
They should just have one set of tag. Yeah, they should have one set of tag team champion and just go between brands.
Yeah, go back and forth between brands, and then you can, okay, this time you guys are gonna battle on SmackDown. This time you guys are gonna battle on Raw. These other two that are trying to be contenders, they're gonna battle. It'd make it a lot better than what we have on Raw right now. Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross. Wow. I thought we were going to get something. Sammy usually puts on great matches. We've been hoping for that Karrion Kross push, and we got a turd. Tell the people, Ron.
If there is ever a time this was more disappointing than the Cena versus Cody at WrestleMania 41 match, because they have somebody that is ready to explode and a person that is dead as a doorknob right now. And they chose the dead as a doorknob over the explosion. And it just, for me, I just was like, if you don't get that right, I don't trust anything that you're doing right now with regards to booking right now. Karrion Kross is destined and down for getting to that next level, and you want to keep him buried as a jobber? That just makes no sense to me. Plus, you could elevate Sammy by him coming out with this truth of like, yeah, I am a liar, or whatever the case may be, and he can go on to something else and then expose something inside of himself so he gets some character development. He's always this underdog guy that everybody's like feeling sorry for. And it's like he has no run with that. It's over. It's over. Start fighting against the jackass guys again so that you can start getting some run again, because at the end of the day, this is crap.
Oh, it's really bad. It's really bad. God, this was so bad. And I was hoping it would be a good match. I was hoping that it would help Karrion Kross. I mean, it seems like his contract's up, and I don't know if he's coming back, man.
I wouldn't. Like, you're in a situation to where you're being buried to somebody that you know that you can bury.
Well,
anyway,
even that, I mean, he's got his own cult following. He's definitely over with the fans. On the post show, they were screaming, "We want Kross," on the post show. So like, there's fans there. There's some heat there for him, and WWE is just dropping the ball on this one, and it's so obvious. Like, why isn't he in a banger with Sheamus or Rusev? Yeah, I kind of find that a little interesting of him and Rusev, right? Big dudes, both kind of got that weird character. Like, I think that could play, right? Hell, I could write that story.
Yeah, man. In watching that match and the next match that we're going to be talking about, I just don't get, like, here's my conspiracy theory, right? So I'm going off script for right now. So this is Ron Young being unreal. So what if this was the case? Because there's a lot of former WWE executives that went over to the other promotion at AEW. And ever since WrestleMania 40, where we had some of the best writing in WWE history, with The Rock doing little reels and stuff like that while he's working out, while The Rock is throwing Cody Rhodes all over his Wheatley vodka bus, and where they're having like this setup for WrestleMania, and you got Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes all of a sudden aligned where they don't line up with each other against The Rock and Roman Reigns and all this sort of stuff. Some of the best writing that there is. What if, to get AEW to become like the Monday Night Wars, they're like, okay, we're going to tone it down a little bit to let them catch up a little bit so we can create this tribalism thing and allow them to come back in the thing. Because in the other organization, you got Toni Storm, who's the hottest wrestler on the planet. I don't care. Like, every time she says words, I want to hear what she has to say, because she was a WWE cast-off that went over there and made a star out of herself. And I'm just watching what each product is doing. And that's my conspiracy theory, that maybe they're like, in order for us to grow our product, we got to have some competition. It's not working Raw versus SmackDown because you don't know who's on Raw brand and you don't know who's on the SmackDown brand anymore.
Yeah, the only thing that I think that kind of puts a big hole in that conspiracy, Ron, is that TKO is big and they're making money and they're selling out shows, and AEW is not getting the the viewership numbers it needs to really be a true competitor. So But AEW's product right now, week to week, is a better product, better stories, better characters, makes you care. Like you said, I want to know what they have to say. What are they going to say next? I'm interested. Where, again, Stephanie Vaquera's got a match against Naomi. She had a 5-second clip and she was in a dark match. That don't make no sense. She's one of your hottest stars right now. How she got 5 seconds on Raw, right?
That's what we're talking about. Is like, as a WWE fan, guys, a lot of you may be new to the product, and that's okay. But the thing that I want you to do is, if you are a new fan and you have Peacock, go back and watch some of the Attitude Era. Go back and watch when Hogan was champion. When Hogan was champion, dude, that place used to be so electric. It was ridiculous because you hear the music, dun, 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 and then everybody would lose. Like, I don't know how many shirts I tore off when I was a little kid. I couldn't tear them all the way off. I would tear them. My mom would beat me because she'd be like, Ronnie, we don't have money for you to be pretending like you're Hulk. What did she say? Lou Ferrigno or whatever. She never got his name right when I was a kid, but she's like, you can't be just ripping your clothes off and thinking that you're some superstar when you're scrawny as a pole, right? But anyway, there's a lot of information so that you can understand the product and what it is and what it isn't. And right now, what it isn't is it's not electric. We have a lot of athletes that were relying on the realism of what they do inside of the ring and trying to create a realistic behavior, but it's the character development that helps people to really get behind the characters, which ultimately makes it so you can suspend reality for a minute. Because if I'm watching wrestling and I see somebody do this, right? This is somebody's head, and I know that they didn't really hit that person. If I'm relying on their athleticism, that's not going to get it done. What is going to get it done is when I suspend reality and I say, I know that this is what it is. And I can see if they really wanted to do this, they would really kill him. Or maybe it did look like they really killed him. I'm really all in. I'm in a rant mode today, Pinky. I'm going to just rant.
You done messed up your camera now. All right, we got to move on because we got a lot to get through. This match we won't spend a lot of time on. Ron, would it be fair to say that this was Jade Cargill's best match in WWE?
The Royal Rumble was her best match in WWE. This one right here, she should have won the title. And it was a demotion for her, losing the belt to Tiffany Stratton and not winning the title on SummerSlam. You will see her fade out. She's not ready.
I was a little shocked because the Queen of the Ring doesn't mean anything now. She won Queen of the Ring, and she lost. Like now, the next match she has, do they still promote her as Jade Cargill, 2025 Queen of the Ring? Probably not, right? Now that doesn't mean anything. She lost her opportunity. That's it. It's over. It's done. Although there's not a lot of. I'm trying to think of who's out on SmackDown. There's really not a lot of the top contenders on SmackDown right now, if you kind of think about it. Nia.
Well, you got Bianca Belair coming back. You got
not yet. She's not cleared yet. That finger's still busted.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening with her service. There's a lot of things that I don't know what's going on, but at the end of the day, one of the things I do know is that when you lose a big profile match like that, it takes a long time for you to gather steam to be able to be in that mode again. And I don't know if Jade is as qualified a wrestler enough to be able to climb that ladder to get back up to that spot again, unless somebody like Bianca, or she moves over to Raw and she challenges Naomi or something like that. Maybe that's what they're saving it for. But on Saturday night, for her to have lost, that was terrible.
Yeah, I mean, we both predicted she'd win. I didn't want her to win. I was happy with Tiffany winning, but because I think Tiffany's getting better and better, so I'm enjoying that. I enjoyed this match, and I thought what was crazy is, would you believe that this was the shortest match of the weekend?
Yeah, I
It
can,
was a
because it was
7-minute
terrible.
match.
It was terrible, and it needed to be done. So do we. Next.
We had another tag match. A lot of tag matches. We had Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul, two of the best heels in the business, versus Randy Orton and Jelly Roll.
Man, I liked the match. I felt like Jelly Roll performed really well in his place. Actually, he performed a lot above his place. I think that he brought a good athleticism for what it is that I expected out of him. I really wanted to see, because I had called it last week, that Randy Orton would turn heel on Jelly Roll and start a new group with him, McIntyre, and Logan Paul. And it was kind of teased at the beginning of the match. Jelly Roll was like, let me go in. And Randy's like, no, I'm like, they had that friction. And I was like, dude, if that happens, that would be amazing, right? Because to have those three start a stable of their own, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, and Randy Orton. Are you serious, bro? That's a viable trio right there. But at the end of the day, my prediction, my first win of the weekend, I predicted Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre to win it.
Oh man, that frog splash from the top of the top rope over to the announce table,
incredible,
and basically putting Jelly through the table was awesome. And I knew it was happening too, because Jelly didn't move at all. And all you see, if you look, his hands are just covering his nuts. He knew he was taking it. I like Jelly. I thought Jelly did a good thing. I thought one thing I noticed, and again, I'm a bigger guy, and I feel like as I've gotten older, I've spent a little bit more time with movement and trying to gain some agility. He looked like a guy who'd spent 25 years as a fat guy and he's not gotten that agility yet. He's still working. So, but he did perform well. It's a 17 match. I will say, I don't know if I like that when he got hit with the frog splash, and then Randy Orton's getting his ass beat, and they're kind of taking Jelly out of the arena. And then all of a sudden he's like, no, I got to go help my man. I got to help him. I can do it. It was too long for me. It took like 6 minutes for them to get him up, walk him over. Randy Orton's getting his ass beat the whole 6 minutes. And then he comes back and be available for the hot tag. I don't know if that worked for me, but I did like, he got the choke slam in on Logan. Logan gave him a lot of air on that choke slam. He made it look really good. You could just see Logan spring, and I was like, oh, and it's like,
yeah, he Undertakered his butt for sure.
And then got the boss man slam on Drew, which was cool. And then again, the right thing probably happened. Now we can do this again, right? They could advertise, they could have this come back, which would be good, right? Jelly will get better. He got the bug. Jelly said, like, besides getting married and his kids, this was like the best thing of his life. Here's a multi-platinum.
Can you imagine being in a WWE ring? Like, if I would, like, for real, if they told me I could get into a SummerSlam match, or I don't care if it was just a dark match. If I got an opportunity to be inside of a dark match inside of a WWE ring with anybody, it could be Alberto Del Rio, who is never getting back in a WWE ring. I would be so excited for the rest of my life to be able to have that opportunity. Are you kidding me? I got into a WrestleMania ring in WrestleMania 30, and I got Byron Saxton interviewed me, because like they were having this, if you can tell a person the song, they name that tune, and the guy put, I could do it in two notes, and I said I could do it in one. And all of a sudden it was like, dent. And I was like, Shawn Michaels, Sexy Boy. And everybody was like, how the heck did you get it on one? But I was like, Anyway, yeah, so this match was good, not great, but it was cool to see Jelly Roll do some things for sure.
Respect to Jelly. Respect. He earned some respect. So Ron, I normally like to hear your take, but I'm going to give you my take first on this last one of night one. Because this has never, ever come out of my mouth. Ever. This CM Punk Gunther match was so damn good. Now, it was more of an old school match. This thing was so damn good. The story they were telling in the ring. By the end of the match, I was rooting for CM Punk to win. And you know, that does not happen.
This show just went platinum. I don't care whatever show we do moving forward. This is show number 15, and I will always keep this. I'll watch this back over and over and over again, bro.
They were so good. Gunther being a monster, and CM Punk, he'd get a hit in or 2 hits in, and the next thing you know, a lariat, and he's back on the ground. And then, Gunther bombed him. And then he'd get up and he'd do a couple things to Gunther, and the next thing you know, Gunther would start chopping him again. Like, he kept beating him down relentlessly. So you truly had like David and Goliath in there in the ring. And they don't have a lot of history against each other. They kind of threw this together. And this just goes back to Gunther's the best wrestler on the planet. His ability to work with his teammates, put together great matches, make you look good. I mean, he made Goldberg look good. Goldberg had one of his longest matches of all time, right?
Right.
This was a 30-minute match of just a complete beatdown for the most of it. And then all of a sudden, the tide turned. And that's when I was like, oh, get him, Punk. Get him. Like, that's how they had me feel. And I don't like CM Punk. I don't like him. I don't get it. He's not that, to me, he's just kind of he's a punk. He's a jerk. He's he's just not my guy. And when I was rooting for him, I was like, what the hell is going on here? It's because of what they were doing in the ring. So you tell the people what you thought.
So I agree with every single thing you said about the match. It was brutal. It was very throwback match. So this is a double in regards to this match, because from the night of Saturday night's main event, I told you and I told the world that Seth Rollins' knee injury was a work. From the very first second I saw it, I was like, this is a work. So I didn't get a chance to enjoy my boy winning the World Heavyweight title because I knew that Seth freaking Rollins was going to come down either to the ring or just like he did. He came out on the crutches, and I was like, that son of a bitch is going to come out and throw his crutches down, and he's going to show that he's not injured. And then Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker are going to come out and destroy CM Punk. But it was even worse than that. He walked down to the ring and proceeded to beat CM Punk up with the briefcase, and then took a curb stomp to his head and pinned him 1, 2, 3. So my heart broke at Saturday night's main event in the first place. I knew CM Punk was going to win. And at the end of the day, I knew I wasn't going to be able to enjoy it because I knew that. And it's over, Seth Rollins. Just like Pinky hates CM Punk, I hate you forever, ever, ever. I will never cheer for you, Seth Rollins, no matter what. I don't care if my life is on the line. I will never, as long as I live, cheer for you.
Oh, I loved it. The camera work on that was so good because CM Punk is sitting there, and Harm and I, we called it. We were like, Seth Rollins is coming out. He's coming out. And they had that perfect moment where he has the belt. He's lifting it up. He's got that I beat the monster Gunther. I'm the champ. And then the music hits and you're like, oh, and you can see his face. They're just
right.
damn it. Like, damn it. And there's nowhere for me to hide. Like, that's probably what I would have done. I'd have been like, I'm going to run over this barrier and run into the crowd, and you're not getting me tonight. You're not getting me
any other night but tonight, but you're not getting me tonight. Yeah.
You can get me on Raw on Monday, but you ain't getting me tonight.
5 minutes and 9 seconds.
Longer than 5 minutes.
5 minutes and 9 seconds as champion is what CM Punk has, and that's what we got.
And then, I mean, Seth Rollins played it perfectly, right? Comes out, he's yelling at him. You got Paul Heyman lifting up the briefcase, and then Seth turns around and does the crutches back, and you think he's going to the back, and then he just stops and throws the crutches to the side, takes off his knee brace, rips his shirt off, and it's go time. Oh, that's epic storytelling. That was an epic moment. We will remember that moment.
I already knew it, though. I kept trying to tell you, and you were arguing with me. You're like, there's no way. I saw it, bro. And everything, like they had you hook, line, and sinker. I'm like, dude, this will work. I watched it. And then they did LA Knight wrong. He wasn't on SummerSlam, and he's the one that beat Seth Rollins in that fluke, and they put him in an immediate title match against Seth Rollins on Monday night. Anyway, booking, bro. Booking. Let it marinate a little bit. Anyway.
Well, thankfully, LA Knight did not lose to Seth Rollins.
True.
On Monday Night Raw.
True.
So we can come back to that. We can come back again. So great into night one. I love it. I love Seth Rollins. I love him. So I did not feel I felt a little bad for CM Punk. Just a little bit. A little bit. I was thinking about, oh damn, Ron's gonna be pissed.
As a matter of fact, I will never refer to him by his name after tonight. I'm going to come up with a different name for him, and I think I'm going to call him Scrappy Doo. So from now on, whenever I talk about him, I'm going to call him Scrappy Doo.
Scrappy Doo. Fair enough. Whew. All right. And that's just one night, Ron. We got 18 minutes to get through night two. So we're going to roll through this. Naomi, Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky, triple threat for the women's world title. I believe we both had this one right. I believe, right? We both picked Naomi.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think our take last week actually was true. It was a good match. It wasn't a great match, but the expectations were really high. And I think that's what happened here. Is the last two matches of Rhea, Io, Bianca, Rhea, Io at Evolution, and then Naomi at the end. Those were just amazing, top 5 matches of the year. I know there's an argument to be made. And we got this, which was still good, but it didn't have that. It just wasn't as good as those other two. So, again, I think the expectations were so high, it didn't live up to the expectations.
Yeah, I'm not seeing Rhea be really motivated inside of matches anymore. Like, it occurs to me that her dominance, like, she's gotten really thin. Like, because for a little while, she was really bulky and everything like that, and she looked very dominant in regards to her presence on the product. Now it seems like she's able to be thrown around too much. And that takes away a little bit of her luster because she's never beaten Io Sky. And I look at Io Sky and I feel like my grandkids would beat her right now just because she's so tiny. You know what I mean? And I don't even have grandkids, and she would just take a pin from one of them right now. And when I look at Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley, it's like, how is Rhea losing to Io Sky so effortlessly all the time?
Well, we will say the last 2 times she probably gets the win over Io, but Naomi came in and ruined it. So we'll see. We'll see.
That's
good
fair.
match,
That's
though.
Fair.
What they've done with Io over the last year.
1 to 5, what would you give it?
3.5? Is that fair?
I would agree with that. 3.5 is perfect.
It's better than it was better than Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed and those guys. So it's got to be more than 3. But yeah, I think 3.5 is good. It wasn't quite that next level, but I'm just throwing it out. What they've done with Io Sky over the last year, I love her. She's great. She's put on just amazing matches. I'm just kind of mad that for the 2 months she had the title, we never got to see her again. You know, we didn't get to see her with those really good matches against other opponents. So I believe when all was said and done of the TLC match, you were correct in picking the winner, and you were correct in picking why they would be the winner. So congrats. Because I didn't really think about the other 3, 3 characters of the Wyatt Six, which there's 5 of them, but they're called the Wyatt Six. So, but they all of them got involved, and that actually ended up being the reason why they won, which is what you exactly called. Tell the people about this match, Ron.
I was at tables, ladders, and chairs. The first ladder match at WrestleMania 2000. I was there live and in person. I watched Jeff Hardy jump from the largest ladder that I've ever seen in my entire life. And I couldn't believe that he jumped off of that thing onto a table where Bubba Ray was laying there. And it was cool to see the Hardys and the Dudleys at this match. This is probably one of the best matches I've ever seen, just because of the violence that was involved in this thing. I mean, you had DIY with Gargano throwing his wife through a ladder, knee first, from the top of the ladder. That was absolutely unreal. You have Ray Phoenix jumping over the top turnbuckle to the outside, taking Street Profit. Oh my gosh, I can't remember his name. That guy. Taking him out, and then
Dawkins?
Dawkins. You got all these people doing all of these skits that you always wish they would do. It was just incredible.
Axiom doing the Spanish fly through the table.
Right.
It was crazy.
Right.
There was tons of stuff. There was brutality all around. It was fast moving, fast paced. I could definitely go back and watch this match. I will go back and watch this match. And the biggest thing about this, from a technical standpoint, to get 6 tag teams together and coordinating a match, that's a lot of logistics to go through. That's a lot of spots to hit. That's a lot of things. And then you incorporate 3 more people with Nikki Cross, B-Fab, and Candice LeRae. And I argue Candice LeRae's spot was the best spot of the match, and she's not even in the damn match.
And Bray Wyatt, and Uncle Howdy getting into the match. And the best part of the match altogether was Tommaso Ciampa. He's on the belt, and the guy from Nathan Frazier is getting ready to spear him to do the edge, and Tommaso Ciampa pulls himself up and holds himself from the belts. That was absolutely incredible, because he held himself there for a couple minutes. He didn't just for a couple seconds. He held himself there for a couple minutes, and then he let himself down. If anything happens, he slips, loses energy or anything like that. Yeah, he's hurt for real. Yeah, that match was incredible. One of the best matches I've ever seen.
Yeah, I have no doubt this will be on our top 10 at the end of the year. And this would be a match where if somebody's like, oh, man, I need to catch up. What do I need to watch? Like, you need to watch this match. Like, you got to watch it. So, congrats
but you can't
to
have
the
a
Wyatts.
person watch this. You can't have a person watch this match before they watch the original, because it'll mess up the original now.
Right. That is true. Then we had Becky. And again, following that match, you have another brutal match of Becky Lynch versus Lyra. And that's where I think it took the crowd was dead. But there was multiple times the wrestlers had to like go and put their arms up and, you know, try to get the crowd involved. Like the crowd should be involved. This is what you paid $2,000 for. Like you shouldn't have to be told when to cheer. Like it should be pretty easy. But
A lot of people obviously brought their Hannah or Maggie to the match, and they had, why are you yelling so loud? Will you be quiet?
I'm on my phone. Yeah, they're crazy. But I thought this was a good match. I'm glad that this is over for a little while. We've had 3 of these already in the last 4 months. So I'm ready for them to move on for a little while. If they want to come back to this later, fine. But this is good to move on. Becky's moving on. Had a little thing with Nikki Bella. Challenging your girl, Maxine Dupree, out of nowhere. That's going to be cool.
Right.
Maybe Maxine starts to get a boost, right? We've been wanting that. I mean, you've been wanting that for the most part.
Yeah.
But she's pretty hot. So
anytime
I'll
she
take
wants. Yeah, that's right. Man, I must say something. So Ron's rant. Why are they making Bailey into the new Scary Sherry? Bailey's an attractive girl, and they have like turned her into like the purple hair and my belly's hanging out and everything like that. I don't know what's happening. They need to like get her back on point, because Bailey had it going on, and all of a sudden they have her like looking like she's Oompa Loompa. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the outfit that she had on. You know, like this is not Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. She got to get her act right.
You know that you might be right on that. I don't know. I thought she looked all right, but again, I think she's not on the same level as some of these other women when it comes to, you know, how good they look. So
that's awkward. You rubbing your hand. That's awkward. You rubbing your hands together, bro. That's awkward. It's a kid-friendly show. All right, let's get to the Solo Sikoa and yo man.
What a freaking turd. What a turd. I hated this match. I hated it. And you know how much I love my boy Fatu. Like his music hit. We were getting ready for the match. His music hit. I was going Fatu. I started going into all gas, no brakes. Yada I mean. I'm gonna whoop your ass from coast to coast, post to post. My wife was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "It's Fatu. Like that's my guy. He's a Samoan werewolf." And he came out with the Samoan werewolf mask. I was hyped. And then I got this turd, man. I was so sad. I
felt bad for you, bro. I felt bad for you because
I was like, man, this is like the moment Solo and Jacob, and they've been at it for months. They're in the cage. This is where they're gonna settle it. And nothing got settled. Solo took the what's the bitch way out by walking out of the cage and kind of slithering out of the cage and falling onto the floor. I guess if you're gonna get to the floor, that's one way to do it. But and then the match the match was over, but the MFTs got stuck in the cage with Fatu, and he's beating their ass, and I'm like, I kind of just want this to be over. I just want this whole Solo and Fatu thing to be over. I want Fatu to be able to go somewhere else. Let's move him to wrestling bigger opponents. Like, we'll talk about him, but Brock is back, right? Brock Fatu match. That just sounds like that works. The Beast Incarnate versus Samoan Werewolf, right? So, like, let's get this over with. I'm so sad, bro. I'm so sad. And I picked Solo to win. So I got that right. I felt good about that. But the way he did it, how it happened, like that was awful. That was awful. That was the. I think I hated that match more than the Karrion Kross match, and that's saying a lot because that was pretty bad.
Yeah, I hated that match for you. I watched it, and because I watched it late, I fast forwarded through like half of it because I was like, this is garbage. And then I saw that he had lost, and I'm like, that's stupid booking. And then even though I picked Solo Sikoa to win, I'm like, that's stupid booking for him to lose on him falling out of the cage. And I just feel like in the product right now, you have too much bloodline with not enough oomph. They got to do something to make this blood. Like, I don't care about Solo Sikoa's bloodline. I don't care. I care about Jacob Fatu, but I'm like, I don't want him to lose his thing by fighting against somebody that I don't care about.
Right.
And the best way that I can give you an example of this, and this is old school wrestling, right? When Dusty Rhodes and Magnum TA were fighting against the Russians, Nikita, Ivan, and Crusher Khrushchev. We cared about what happened to Nikita, to Dusty and Magnum because of the fact that they were going against the Russians, right?
Right.
Then Magnum TA wraps his car around a pole, light pole, and then Dusty needs a partner, and Nikita Koloff, who he's been feuding with for years, steps in to take over for Magnum TA. The roof comes off the place when Dusty and Nikita are coming to fight against the Russians because now Nikita's on our team. Well, Jacob Fatu, what are you going to do? Recruit Hakaleo? Like it's just not. It just doesn't make sense, bro. There's no love there enough. You recruit Jimmy Uso. Nobody cares about Jimmy Uso because you haven't given anybody a reason to care about Jimmy.
Right. And what's worse, though, Solo is over on just Solo. Just being Solo. The crowd loves him. He's funny. He plays that weird character. Like, he can be a badass, but then he can be kind of goofy. And then Fatu's over, too. Like, they don't need this bloodline storyline anymore. They just don't need it. It's time to move forward. If you want to bring it back later, because you've got a couple more guys, you know, Jimmy and Jay's kids are now grown up and ready. Let's bring that back, you know, when that happens. We could be done with the bloodline now. So I'm done with it.
Coast to coast.
All right.
Coast to coast. Get out of your bloodline. Let's go.
Yada da mean. Oh,
sir.
Dominic Mysterio versus AJ Styles. I kind of felt like I wasn't really I just was not in this match.
I love their tribute to Eddie Guerrero. I love the fact that they gave all the love to Eddie. I predicted it. They weren't going to give Dominic and take the belt off of him. They got to give him a credible challenger to beat. My Tuesday night was unscathed. I was perfection on Tuesday night, including calling like outcomes and stuff like that. Dominic is they're really trying to build him up to be they're going to build him up to be a face coming up here pretty soon. I would say probably by Survivor Series or going into the Royal Rumble, they're going to start giving him a next level treatment as far as like his character.
Okay. Yeah, I this was my I didn't care match. I think we were just chatting at this point. Because it was not very intense. And again, after the last match, I was really just like my energy level had just crashed. So damn you, Solo. All right. The match of night 2, Cody Rhodes, John Cena. John Cena was back. The music, the colors, the vibrant, the smiles. Our John Cena was back. It was a very quick heel turn. It did not last long. I think they at least got a couple things out of it that worked. Because CM Punk's not really a heel right now. Randy's not really a heel. He got good matches with both of those two guys as a heel. So that kind of worked. But bringing him back as a babyface, I think everyone was happy. And then, man, some people, I think most people are prisoners of the moment, right? I think we can usually agree that when we see something and we're like, wow, that's so great, we'll go over the top with it. some people are saying this is one of his best matches of his career, if not his best. A few people have said this is his best match of his career. What did you see, Ron?
I felt it was a really good match. He had an I Quit against JBL. He had his match against The Rock, the first one. He had a bunch of matches with Edge that were pretty intense and pretty incredible. He had the Elimination Chamber match where Edge cashed in on him. There's a lot more matches that I would put over this one, but this was a really good match. I was entertained more so because of how terrible the WrestleMania match was. So I didn't know what to expect going into this match. So I had low expectations. I was like, damn, I don't want to put a high expectation on this. But the thing that messed this up for me, Pinky, is this. In the back over my shoulder, I kept waiting for The Rock to come out. So I could never truly fully invest in what was going on here because I was constantly looking over my shoulder like, is he coming? Is he coming? Is it going to be something? So the fact that that was in the back of my mind, that lessens it, because had The Rock come out, that takes it to another level. It got to a level that was below that level. So therefore it is what it is. Brock Lesnar coming was cool, but The Rock would have been like, okay, that would have tied in the Elimination Chamber to this.
I'm going to say something here, and this might be blasphemous, but when Brock Lesnar's music hit, I was just like, his music is bad. It does not give me the Beast Incarnate feel that it should. And I did not get hyped for it. And then I was like, oh, okay, yeah, it's Brock Lesnar. Cool. But they need to get him some new music. That music's bad.
when you're there in person and it plays, it is a different level. Like when it comes out, bump, 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 bump. It's a different level. It's pretty intense and pretty awesome. I've seen him.
It did not come across on the TV at home, but I've got questions, but I just want to talk about the match right now. I thought this was just a great match between the two guys. Passing of the torch, right? Lots of great moments, lots of great spots. The AA off the turnbuckle. We had tables. We had Cody taking off the ring post, taking the whole damn pad in the bar with him. Like Cody showed some brutality in that match that starts to show those heel tendencies. He did not hold back. He did not sit there and say, I'm not going to hit you with this. He hit him. And,
right. He definitely did.
I'll be shocked if this is not the match we remember from John Cena's retirement tour.
It'll be really nice if he goes and turns heel, because you had mentioned that he's going to be recording his new movie overseas, and it would be really nice if they had a camera crew and he starts turning heel while he's gone. That would be really cool.
That would be fun. That'd be a cool way to do it. I mean, Cody's got charisma, man. I know his speech is a little weird, right? He's got that lisp, but he's worked on that. He's better than he was, and he's got a good look, man. He was in a movie this weekend, Naked Gun. He's in that movie. He's got a cameo in that. So We may start seeing less of Cody as he maybe does a few more. He might not be gone for good like The Rock did. But he might be gone a couple times here and there. Him and Roman. I think Hollywood is starting
I don't think WWE is really ready to get rid of their babyface quite yet. But if they do start to build him as a heel, this would be the perfect time to do it while he's gone. Like, I'm now a Hollywood actor and everything like that. You guys probably missed this belt. All he has to do is just say little things that start to turn him, and then have the announcers like, wow, Cody's starting to change a little bit. And then while he's gone, when he comes back, then the crowd is really like booing him and stuff like that. And then you start to see his facial recognition change and everything like that. That would be beautiful way, because nobody's ever turned heel like that before.
And I just I tell you, man, I had so many good vibes watching this match. I just seeing Cena smile. That really made me feel good. I enjoyed this as a Cena fan. As you can see, I got the Never Seen 17 belt behind me. It was great. I loved every second of it. Didn't like the outcome as much. Wasn't as huge a fan of Brock Lesnar coming out, because then that just led to some more questions that we're going to have to get to next week. But I really enjoyed this match, and I thought this was a great bow to the first 2-night SummerSlam, which again they've already booked it for 2 nights next year in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So this will continue where we're getting 2 nights. And again, we were pretty disappointed in WrestleMania 41. This was way better than WrestleMania 41. Again, we can nitpick the matches that kind of sucked, but overall, we got a great weekend of wrestling. So
yes, we did. Yes,
cheers,
we did.
buddy.
So, man, drop a like or comment with regards to what it is that you see here, what you'd like to talk about in the future and everything like that. Next week, we're going to start getting set up for Clash in Paris. And we're going to start talking a little bit about, I got a couple secret things I'm going to bring in here on my rant next week. But, if you're not down with what it is that we're putting down here on Smack Talk and Raw, we have 2 words for you. Suck it! See you next week.
Love you guys. Have a great week.